Hey, what's up guys? This is Jeff with Gamestork, and is it really that significant that Havok is listed as one of the top third-party partners for the Nintendo Switch?
Gamestork, delivering news, reviews, and playthroughs like a newborn baby.
So there are a lot of partners listed on the Nintendo Switch's third parties list, which you've all seen, and that beautiful red box with all the little icons in the middle that show all the support and partners. Now there are actually some pretty big deals in there, and the fact is there are a lot of evidence in that box to tell us what's coming for the Nintendo Switch. One of which I want to talk about, or kind of just speculate on right now, is the Havok Partnership. Now, in case you don't know what Havok is a middleware software suite developed by the Irish company Havok. Havok provides a physics engine component and related functions to video games. Now, this is it's designed primarily for video games and allows for real-time collision and dynamics of rigid bodies in 3 dimensions. Now, it provides multiple types of dynamic constraints between rigid bodies. For instance, ragdoll physics. It has highly optimized collision detection library, and by using dynamical simulation, Havok physics allows for more realistic virtual worlds and games. The company was developing a specialized version of Havok's physics called Havok FX that made use of the ATI and NVIDIA GPUs for physics simulations. However, the goal of the GPU acceleration didn't necessarily materialize until several years later, which we see now. Now, you're asking me, you're saying, okay, so this is a middleware software that helps with physics. Why is this important for the Nintendo Switch? Well, let's take a look at why this is important for the Nintendo Switch. What games is Havok in the middle of? What games have been made that have Havok in them, this physics engine? Well, let's take a look. Fallout 4, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Halo 5 Guardians, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Just Cause 3, Mad Max, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, Until Dawn, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, Dragon Age Inquisition, Assassin's Creed Unity, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I'm sure by now you got the idea that there aren't necessarily a bunch of 2D games made with this engine. So why would Nintendo need a partnership with this engine if they weren't planning on bringing titles like Fallout, like Assassin's Creed, like Dragon Age, like the new one is speculated to be on the Nintendo Switch, like Shadow of Mordor or the second game? I don't know. If you think about this, the fact that there's a partnership and an early partnership means that someone somewhere is creating a game that uses the Havok engine, and Nintendo Switch needs to support the Havok engine in order to run properly. Now, recently in an interview, which has been in March, the guys over at Capcom spoke about the Resident Evil engine and how the RE engine, they were optimizing this for the Nintendo Switch. And the issue wasn't the engine running on the Switch itself. As we know, 4 gigabytes of RAM is plenty to run that game. The problem is the lower power state. Now here's the deal, there's a team at Nintendo that's there that are helping all these companies let this game run the same in lower power states. Like all these games that require really, really high levels of power and things like that, they put together an entire team to help them to port these things over. That's not to say that it's easy. However, the fact that the partnership is there, you don't just make a partnership with them and not have any plans for any games coming. And the fact is we don't see a little 2D indie game coming from Havok. We see big games, Fallout, Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, Until Dawn, things like that. And so I suspect that in the very near future, especially, I think E3 will be telling about the third parties. The fact is, having these partnerships, and there are a lot of other partnerships, I'm just going to save them and look at them per video, and that way we can really see what they create, what they're responsible for, and how, what this means for the Nintendo Switch as far as speculation is concerned. And I honestly believe, because Ubisoft is all about the Nintendo. I think they will bring the new Assassin's Creed to the Nintendo Switch. They brought an Assassin's Creed to the launch of the Wii U, and they'll do it again. And the thing about it this time is this it's not a gamble anymore. Because of the early release of the Nintendo Switch, they don't have to gamble and wonder if they're going to sell their titles. The fact is, they are going to sell their titles. How do I know they're going to sell their titles? Because the Nintendo Switch is selling out. Gamestork reported that they're selling the Nintendo Switch faster at a faster rate than the original Wii sold, and the Wii is the goal. That's the numbers that you want to hit when you're selling something. And it's not just sales, but once you get that install base, and once a company gets comfortable in knowing that they'll make a game, put a game on your system, and it'll sell, they will come. Now, the Wii U didn't lose its third-party support because of power. It lost its third-party support because Nintendo spent 10 months in between all their first-party games. It wound up losing a lot of sales. Nobody wanted this thing because there wasn't enough games on it, and it was just a big flub. Not to mention the design was insanely confusing, and there were even gamers out there who said, is this just an expansion for the Wii? And that was a problem. The rebranding was a big problem. But the Switch has corrected this, and it looks like having partnerships with Havok and other companies like this, other engines like this, is a very big deal. I know some people out there are going to be like, yeah, but it doesn't mean anything. It does mean something. It does mean something. If you're a business and you go out and you have meetings and you develop partnerships with these other companies, you're not doing it for nothing. No one does those things for nothing. What it is that someone somewhere is creating a game for the Nintendo Switch. I personally believe that it's Ubisoft. I think that it's Assassin's Creed. I think that Fallout's eventually going to find its way over. I think that Call of Duty will be coming. I honestly believe all these games will come. I believe the RE engine will end up running on there. E3 is going to be extremely telling. It's going to shock all the Nintendo haters out there. And look, I'm not like pro Nintendo, anti every other system. I support every system, but the fact is I had to pick one. I'm only one person, and I wanted to do an excellent job here at Gamestork. So guess what I did? I picked Nintendo. I cover Nintendo mostly. I will cover other things, but the fact is Nintendo is my favorite console. But I hope that all of these not only survive, but I hope that all of them thrive. Even Microsoft at E3, I hope Microsoft comes and they just show out and they have some cool stuff, and Scalebound comes back and they just get, generate some serious sales. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. The fact is these partnerships are right in front of our faces, and we're just sitting here not looking at them. We look at the box and we're like, yeah, those all look great. But the fact is having Havok involved as a main partner, especially an early partner, means things are already in development, and this is a big deal because Havok is not involved in small games. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, sound off in the comments below. Let me know what you think is coming that uses the Havok engine to the Nintendo Switch, and let me know all about your hopes for E3. I'd love to hear about them. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, you can do that right here below, and I will certainly appreciate it. For all things Nintendo Switch and gaming in an awesome fashion, come right here to Gamestork.